Simcoe County is relaunching its nearly $2 million affordable housing fund after the original 2025 winner pulled out. A fresh request for proposals goes out this year, open to projects across the region including Barrie and Orillia. This discussion took place during the Simcoe County's most recent meeting. Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall asked whether that $1.9 million could be stacked on top of other local contributions to strengthen future proposals. Staff responded that the fund is already somewhat stacked.
Actually, as you say, that makes sense. The RFP is probably the time to show that off. That makes sense.
The money comes from the three sources: County's Secondary Suites program, the 2024 and 2025 budgets, and a former development charges rebate. They added that the upcoming RFP is the right place to invite additional municipal or community dollars. Nuttall agreed and went on to move the motion. There has been ongoing tension between the county and Barrie's mayor. Barrie pays a substantial amount for social services, including housing, budgeted at more than $30 million for the next year. During the 2025 budget discussions, Nuttall said the local cities were overcompensating for the cost of county capital projects. Also during the meeting, Councillor Judith Cox, the deputy mayor of the township of Severn, urged municipalities to formally recognize intimate partner violence as an epidemic ahead of a county's presentation next month. The federal government already classifies it that way. However, the province does not.
It is very important, and AMO was also recognized, that each municipality pass a motion, because this shows the province, because the province won't recognize it as an epidemic because it's not a health concern. And the federal government has realized that it is a civic violent concern and has recognized it as an epidemic. So I would really hope that all the municipalities would either look into this now or make sure that after the presentation in June that we all support this, because this is a pandemic and the numbers since 2024 have risen astronomically and everything. An example would be Green Haven in Orillia. 209 women and families were turned away just this past year because there was no space for them. And there's only 3 or 4 other spaces even near here that they have a place where they can be safe.
County General Manager of Health and Emergency Services, Jen Sinclair, reported that staffing in the 4 long-term care homes is back to about 1,000, close to pre-pandemic levels, after dropping into 700s. Reliance on agency staff fell from 13% at the start of 2025 to just 4% by December. She also highlighted the paramedic STEP program with Georgian College, which is funneling students straight into jobs. Following is the coverage of the meeting.
Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Not seeing any. Presentations and delegations, we have none. And our consent agendas, I will call upon Councillor Burkett.
Good morning. Moved by myself, second by Councillor Norcross, that the Council Communications and Proclamations May the 12th, 2026 to May the 25th, 2026 have been given due to consideration be received.
Thank you. Comments or questions? All those in favor? And that has carried. And for our adoptions of council minutes, I will turn back to Councillor Miskimins.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. And through you, I have a resolution in front of me, moved by Councillor Lavoie, seconded by Councillor Fowler, that the following council minutes be confirmed and adopted, and Committee of the Whole reports be confirmed. County Council minutes for May 12th, 2026, Committee of the Whole report for May 12th, 2026, Committee of the Whole confidential report for May 12th, 2026, and the Transit Planning Workshop Special Council minutes, May 12th, 2026. Back to you, Deputy Warden.
Thank you. Comments or questions on the minutes? Not seeing any. All those in favor? That has carried. I now call upon Councillor Evans.
Good morning. Thank you, Deputy Warden, and good morning, Council. The item in front of us is Committee of the Whole report for performance management for May 12th, 26, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Norcross. The resolution is the performance management recommendations contained within the Committee of the Whole report dated May 12th, 2026. Back to you, Warden. Deputy Warden.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? That has carried, and we'll now turn to Councillor Measures.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Deputy Warden. Good morning, members of Council. This is the Committee of the Whole report
for Human Services. It'll be moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Brian Smith that the Human Services recommendations contained within the Committee of the Whole report dated May the 12th, 2026 be approved, including the confidential item. Deputy Warden.
Comments or questions? Not seeing any. All those in favor? That has carried. And Councillor Miskimins.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. This is the Committee of the Whole report for Corporate Services for May 12, 2026. That the Corporate Services recommendations contained within the Committee of the Whole report dated May 12, 2026 be approved. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor LaRose. Deputy Warden.
Thank you. Comments or questions? Not seeing any. All those in favor? That has carried. Item 10, presentation and consideration of special committee reports, we have none. 11, presentation and consideration of county officers report, we have none. 12, motions of which notice has been given, we have none. 13, notices of motion, we have none. 14, closed session, we have none. 15, consideration of the bylaws, we have none. And on to announcements. Are there any announcements from the floor? Councillor Cox.
Yes, I'd just like to bring forward about a presentation that was given to some of the municipalities. It was given to Ramera, Oromadani, and Severn, and I think Bradford, West Golden, Barrie, and Clearview. It was on intimate partner violence, and we all, actually it was at the City of Orillia yesterday, and we all made a motion that it was a very important thing to recognize, because this recognition will help support, highlights the importance of addressing this type of control and abuse. The federal government has recognized it, and it will be coming to County Council in June, but talking to the Canadian Federation of University Women's Club, who is doing it, going around and making presentations, it is very important, and AMO was also recognized, that each municipality pass a motion, because this shows the province, because the province won't recognize it as an epidemic because it's not a health concern. And the federal government has realized that it is a civic violent concern and has recognized it as an epidemic. So I would really hope that all the municipalities would either look into this now or make sure that after the presentation in June that we all support this, because this is a pandemic and the numbers since 2024 have risen astronomically and everything. An example would be Green Haven in Orillia. 209 women and families were turned away just this past year because there was no space for them. And there's only 3 or 4 other spaces even near here that they have a place where they can be safe. So I beg of you to think about this and get our municipalities to all put together so that the province will understand the importance of this. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Any other announcements from the floor? Not seeing any. We have 2 taking place following today's Committee of the Whole. The first event is the flag raising, as we recognize June as Pride Month in the County of Simcoe. And the second event, which will start after that conclusion, is the hard hat tour of the County Council members for the tour of the museum expansion to see the progress that has been made. County councillors can park at the museum main parking lot. Closed-toe shoes are required and are mandatory, and hard hats will be provided. At this time, we move on to our confirmation bylaw. Councillor Norcross.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Burkett, that bylaw number 7185-26 be enacted as a bylaw of the County of Simcoe. Thank you.
Comments or questions? All those in favor? That has carried, and we'll move on to our adjournment. I have Councillor McDonald and Councillor Fryer that the May 26th meeting of County Council be adjourned at 9:09 a.m. All those in favor? And that has carried. I will call the meeting to order. I will turn to our clerk for the roll call.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. So in addition to those members of council in attendance, we're joined by the city representatives, Orillia Councillor Durnford, Orillia Councillor Fallis, Orillia Mayor McIsaac, Barrie Mayor Nuttall, and Barrie Councillor Rietma, with Barrie Councillor Negussi currently absent. You have your quorum. Thank you, Deputy Warden.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda, Councillor Miskimins.
Thanks, Deputy Warden. Through you, moved by Councillor Walker, seconded by Councillor Michael Smith, that the agenda for the May 26, 2026 meeting of the Committee of the Whole be approved.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor? And that has carried. Councillor, are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Not seeing any. Presentations and delegations, we have none. We move on now to Human Services. Councillor Measures, please.
Thank you very much, Deputy Warden. All right, committee, we have the Human Services Housing and Homelessness Services section, which is item 5. The first item is item 5.1, CCW 2026-151. It's the Housing Opportunities Fund. The recommendation is here in front of us, but before we do that, I will look to the floor or look to the General Manager Wilcox, or he's not here, sorry, Mr. Aiken, Mr. CAO Aiken is available for any questions if anybody has any. So I'll look to the floor if there's any questions in regards to this important report. I see Councillor Fallis online. Please go right ahead, sir.
Thanks very much. I just wanted to make sure this may be coming up already. Gave staff an opportunity to speak to this in further detail. I'm just trying to kind of wrap my head around the details and what the implications would be. Is the intention of this that it would be going to the Affordable Housing Committee for the county for review and response? Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor. Mr. CAO, would you be able to provide an answer on that?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In terms of just an outline, you may recall we created the Housing Opportunities Fund with some additional funds, and we did an RFP in 2025. The project that was successful in that RFP, we were able to secure some significant federal funding for. You remember the Loft project in Bradford. So we put the monies into reserve. So this report really is seeking direction and approval from council to pull those monies out of reserve and undertake a new process, a new RFP in 2026 to support housing or affordable housing opportunities across the region, which is inclusive of the cities of Barrie and Orillia as well. So that's the undertaking.
Thank you, Mr. CAO. Mr. Fallis, you're comfortable?
Just on the around, will it go to the committee? Thanks.
Thank you, through the chair. Yes, it certainly would go through the committee for information, but I think the decision is to be made at county council, inclusive of the separated city reps.
Great. Thank you very much. Are there other questions from the floor in regards to this? Oh, Mayor Nuttall, please go right ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question to Mr. Aiken. The dollars that are inside of that, I think it's the 1.9 million that looking at being used in 2026. Has there been any thought of stacking it on top of other local contributions in the area?
Mr. CAO.
Through the chair. As you recall, this actually is somewhat stacked already. There's some monies from 24 and 25. I think the RFP contemplates or would contemplate the opportunity for other funding, including from the proponents, or if there are some municipal funds available.
Actually, as you say, that makes sense. The RFP is probably the time to show that off. That makes sense.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Nuttall. Again, to the floor, are there any other questions? All right, seeing none. Perhaps Mr. Nuttall, would you like to move this? Thank you. Mr. Van Staveren, there's our seconder, that the item CCW 2026-151, dated May 26, 2026, regarding the Housing Opportunities Fund be received, and that council approve the use of up to $1.9 million from the Social Housing Reserve for allocation of funds for the affordable rental housing development through a request of proposals process in 2026, as generally outlined in item CCW 2026-151. And that the necessary bylaw be presented to County Council to authorize the Warden and County Clerk to enter into any agreements and sign any documents necessary to give effect to allocations under the Housing Opportunities Fund as generally outlined in item CCW 2026-151. Again, nothing further? Then I'll call the question. All those in favor? That carries. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to item 6, which is our Human Services Long-Term Care Committee of Management. Underneath that, we do have item 6.1, which is Health and Emergency Services Recruitment and Retention Update. The GM Sinclair is available to answer any questions. A lot of items or a lot of information in this. I'll look to the floor if there's any questions to the process and the update that's been going on here. Anybody with any questions to the General Manager? Yes, there we are. Councillor Hamlin, please.
Yeah, thank you. This is great progress, and I love all the recruitment that's going on. I was just wondering how the retention's going, particularly. I could see some numbers for 23, and I'm just wondering how it's gone since then. Thank you.
Thank you. GM Sinclair?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the question. I actually have a few stats prepared in case there were more detailed questions. So the retention is a very important. It's not just about recruitment, it's about retaining these folks. And we're seeing tremendous success there as well. And just to give you an example, we're sitting at about 1,000 staff in our 4 long-term care homes and senior services. During the height of the pandemic, we dipped below 800. We were in the 700s. We lost a lot of staff, retired early, left the industry altogether, et cetera, et cetera. We're now sitting back at 1,000, which is pre-pandemic numbers. So those folks are staying. We still have some turnover, but it's primarily in our casual or relief staff. Our permanent full-time and permanent part-time have very good retention. And I will just highlight a couple of other things, if I may take the opportunity. With that, we've seen with the stabilizing of our staffing complements, a significant reduction in our use of agency in long-term care and senior services. We talked a lot about that during the last few years. So you can see at the beginning of 2025, our utilization was 13%. As of December 2025, it was down to 4%. So we've made significant gains because we've been able to hire and retain permanent staff. And on the paramedic services side, we have a similar story. We've seen tremendous success. We hired over 60 individuals in the last couple of years. I will speak to the student program that we have in paramedic services specifically. We call it the STEP program, Student Transition to Employment Program. And we have a great partnership with Georgian College. We also support a local private school as well. And we had, I think, 30 students last year in the STEP program, 28 this year. And the vast majority, when they complete their placement with our staff, we hire. We have the odd one who, when they graduate, will take a placement where they're from or from another location. But we've seen tremendous success. And in paramedic services, our primary care positions are full-time or full. They're stable. Our part-time are full. We are still looking to recruit a few more part-time because we pull them up to cover maternity leaves and other types of leaves. In the ACP, so that's the advanced care paramedic, that has been a challenge for us, particularly through the pandemic and beyond. We have about 80 of those permanent positions. 2 years ago, we were sitting with about 20 full-time permanent ACP vacancies. Through our education and tuition program that's offered corporately, we're growing our own. We had 8 graduate last year and take 8 of those full-time positions. We currently have 12 enrolled in the program this year and anticipate we'll have all of our permanent full-time positions filled by the end of the year. So we're seeing great success both in recruitment and in retention, but it's like turning a ship. So we're still working very hard. And I will, if I may, just give a shout out to our operational leadership, our HR team, our scheduling, centralized scheduling folks who have been working hard. And of course, we have our 2 managers of professional development here today, Ms. Julia Young-Williams and Ms. Michelle Jeffries, who are key in terms of those student programs, onboarding, orientation, and education. So it's really been a great team effort. Thank you.
Yes, just a comment. I guess in the last year, I was talking to one of our residents who has an accessory dwelling unit and had a PSW living there who could walk on good weather to, well, she had to walk all the time. This is the point of my comment, up to Sunset Manor, but was finding sometimes her shifts were ending, I guess, in the middle of the night or, when it was dark and it was snowstorms. So there were people in the community, I learned, were actually volunteering to step up and drive her to and from. But it's really struck me since then that if your management on site know of something that the municipality could do to help, like what was on my mind was, should we be putting a push on to get a bus closer to, certain neighborhoods? Because these are the people who are PSWs and so on. They're not the people who are doing surveys for, do you want a bus? Like they're just full out busy. So anyway, I just wanted to say, and I'm sure every, person in the House would be interested in receiving that kind of information if it could be helpful. So thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for those comments. We'll take those back.
Excellent. Mr. Van Staveren is next. Then I have Mr. Smith and then Verkuyt. Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you, Chairman Measures. General Manager Sinclair, quick question in regards to the monies that we're enticing our nurses to come to. I'm reading the report. It says that it's only for new nurses, the $25,000 per nurse sort of thing. Has that created any friction or challenges for existing nurses who have, I won't say unfair practices or anything like that? I know we've got, some of the education grants and stuff like that available, but I just question whether we're, I don't know enough about it, but can you talk about that, please?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I considered returning to nursing practice myself. Kidding. I will look to Michelle Jeffries to comment further, but there are a varied number of incentives. So there's also a return to service incentive program. So those that have worked in the industry, and in the report it outlines, we've had 87 personal support workers receive that incentive. So they were practicing personal support workers. They took a leave for either retired or changed positions, and they've actually returned to that job and they've had incentives. So I know there's a kind of a broad array of different types of incentives, but I'll look to Ms. Jeffries to maybe comment a little bit further. Thank you.
Thank you, GM. Welcome, Ms. Jeffries. It's nice to have you here on the floor with us. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I do get some feedback from our current nurses that have been with us for a while. Where is my incentive? What is the government offering us to stick around? And a lot of the incentives right now are to recruit nurses to long-term care. And then it's a 2-year commitment to work, and that is the retention piece. For nurses that have already been around, I believe we offer a lot of corporate incentives, including $3,500 a year for them to have professional development opportunities. We also offer a lot of staff recognition that a lot of other healthcare facilities do not offer their employees. So I think overall, with our salary compensation, our benefits package, and then all of the staff recognition and professional development opportunities, I think that is where we excel and work on retaining our current staff.
And we have very good staff, so thank you for that. Nothing further then, Mr. Vance? Okay, thank you very much. We're going to go over to Mr. Councillor Brian Smith. Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I just want to take an opportunity to put a shout out to Jane and her team, to Chief Mills and her team, and to all of the executive HR and the management of each of our facilities. When I look at this report, this is no small feat. Long-term care industry today is suffering greatly for positions like PSWs, nurses, so on and so forth. And to be able to replace almost 300 employees and to be able to retain is no small feat. It takes outside the box thinking. It takes challenging thought process to be able to come up with ideas that is going to be able to not only attract, because everybody and their brother and sister are hiring these positions today. So to be able to hire those folks and to be attractive that they come. And here's what I can tell you in 40 years of business is dollars and cents are not the end all be all. We take employee opinion surveys 3 times a year, and dollars and cents are usually of 1 to 10, they're at between 8 and 10. recognition, feeling like they're a part of the team, being heard and understood. That is what matters to people most. And in this industry, that is a tough industry already to work in. I mean, these jobs are not easy jobs, and there's a lot of heavy responsibility and burden that comes with them. To be able to hire, attract, maintain, and retain those people is remarkable in what you've done in a fairly short period of time. Jane, to you and the whole team. So congratulations and keep up the great work.
Excellent comments, Mr. Smith. Thank you very much for that very good comment. And I know it represents a lot of the opinion here in the House. We're going to go to our alternate Ben Verkuyk. It's next. If there are others who have any questions. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Please go right ahead, Ben.
My question is, the agency utilization at Simcoe Manor was significantly lower than the other three. What are they doing right?
Thank you for the comments. I think we really pride ourselves in looking at retention and recruitment as a whole. So we tend to apply the same methodologies, the same, our corporate communications team, for example, do marketing that focuses on all 4 of our sites, et cetera. We've looked at that very question, and we feel that one of the factors with Simcoe Manor in particular is proximity to the GTA. A lot of our staff come from the south to that particular home. And so we've seen, I think we've seen, even at the height, the utilization of agency was somewhat less than the other 3. So we think that's a pretty significant factor with that particular home. But I will say they are a great team there as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Greenlaw, I believe, is next.
Thank you very much, Chair. Measures through you to Ms. St. Clair. Can you speak to any of the potential challenges with privately ran homes as far as pay comparisons and cannibalization?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I don't have the current statistics on what the pay differentials are. We know that there's multiple types of homes in this sector. There's municipal homes, there's charitable homes, there's not-for-profit homes, there's for-profit homes. They're all under the same guidelines, the same standards, the same requirements under the legislation. And I think they probably feel the same challenges as we do with the sector at large when we've seen such pressures in long-term care, particularly when they were focused during the pandemic. So I would expect they would have very similar challenges as we do in recruitment and retention, and would focus on their own types of strategies to not only attract and retain them. I'm not familiar with any particular issues with the private sector, so I can't really comment further on that.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Greenlaw. Are there other questions? All right. Seeing none. Thank you, Jane, for this report. Thank you again to your staff for preparing this, and well done with all of the retention opportunities that we're offering our staff. We appreciate them very, very much. Council, I would like to ask then Mr. Verkuyk if he would like to be the mover, and perhaps Mr. Greenlaw can be the seconder, that item CCW 2026-137 dated May 26, 2026 regarding the Health and Emergency Services Recruitment and Retention Update be received. Are there any further? Nothing? I'll call the motion. All in favor? And that carries. Thank you so much. And if I'm not mistaken, Deputy Warden, I think I can pass the chair back to you. If there's nothing, no other matters, I believe. That's correct. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. And we'll just take a quick minute here. Thank you very much to our city reps for joining us. And we'll move on now to item 8, and I will turn to Councillor Miskimins.
Thanks, Deputy Warden. Chair Dolan left the heavy lifting to me today. So under corporate services, are there any other matters for consideration? I'm seeing none, so I'll pass it back to you, Deputy Warden.
Thank you, and back over to Councillor Evans.
9 seconds.
Not bad.
Hopefully, Councillor Miskmans is aware the remuneration policy for that is half of what it normally is. So there you go. Anyways, good morning, Council, and thanks for your indulgence. Thank you, Deputy Warden. And through you, I have two matters for consideration under performance management today. These are both committee reports. The first one is the Audit and Finance Committee of May 19th, 2026. Are there any comments or questions on this report? Councillor Hamlin, thank you. Please.
Thank you. I just have one. I noticed that the accounts receivable have about doubled over the last 5 years. And I was just wondering if that's unpaid property taxes or if there's some, particular reason for that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Pass it along to CAO Aiken, please.
Sure. Our treasurer, Mr. Leland Sibbick's making his way down to the podium. He can answer the specifics. It was a very busy meeting of the Audit and Finance Committee, so appreciate the questions. So, Leland, good.
Thank you. Through the chair. The receivables have gone up over the last number of years as the increase in provincial funding related to the programs. So it's mainly provincial dollars. It isn't related to property taxes.
That's really good news. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're good. Any other comments or questions? Okay, a recommendation for me in front of me, moved by Councillor Hamlin, if I could, and seconded by Councillor Fryer. Thank you so much. The motion is the recommendations contained within the Audit and Finance Committee report dated May 19th, 2026 be approved. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you very much. The second item is 9.2. Joint Accessibility Advisory Committee report of May 19th, 2026. Any comments or questions on this item? Seeing none at this time, can I have a mover and a seconder? Alternate Councillor Vercake. I don't think we have you on record, so I'll get you on there. And alternate Councillor Waters, if I could, as a seconder. Thank you very much. The motion is that recommendations contained within the Joint Accessibility Advisory Committee report dated May 19th, 2026 be approved, with the exception of the Town of Midland, Town of Orobadonte, Township of Springwater, and Township of Tay recommendations. Further comments? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. Are there any other matters for consideration under performance management? Seeing none, thank you for your indulgence, and back to you, Deputy Warden.
Thank you. 23 seconds. At this time, is there a desire to resolve into closed? Not seeing that. If that would then ask for a mover and next page. I'd ask for a mover and seconder then, please. I have Councillor McDonald and Councillor McClellan that the direction in camera and the recommendations contained within the confidential items CCW 2026-147 dated May 26, 2026 regarding a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land be approved and voted upon in accordance with the Municipal Act, Section 2396B of the Municipal Act. All those in favor? And that has carried. And then mover and seconder for adjournment, please. I have Councillor Anderson and Councillor Bell that the May 26, 2026 Committee of the Whole be adjourned at 9:35 a.m. All those in favor? And that has carried. Thank you.
For Simcoe Community Media, I am Deepak Bidwai. This story was supported by the Local Journalism Initiative.